When it comes to business, it is not usually brief. So here to break down what's been happening around San Antonio, Greg Jefferson, business editor and columnist with the San Antonio Express News.
Thank you. I guess it could be brief. I'm just not brief. But anyway,
you're going to help us make it
yeah,
brief.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
All right, so let's first talk about 2 direct flights leaving the San Antonio airport because of the whole grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX.
Right. So yeah, some background. Of course, we had two crashes of Boeing 737 MAXs last year and early this year, which led to the grounding of the entire fleet. The impact that's had on San Antonio International is that you've got Southwest and American Airlines having to scale back some of their flights just because they don't have the planes available with the 737 MAXs out of play. Southwest has cut its route to Oakland, and American has cut its route to Philadelphia. They had cut those two earlier in the fall, but they resumed in November. They kind of worked things around, different flight schedules, so that they could accommodate them. It's getting tough again, especially with the holiday travel season. So they're moving like the non-MAX aircraft out of San Antonio into kind of higher, more profitable markets. And they think that they'll be able to resume the flights, I believe it's in March, but that's if the FAA clears the fleet of MAXs, and nobody knows for sure if that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's the big hurdle that this whole fleet is facing right now. So how big of a blow, or really is it, to the San Antonio airport to lose these 2 direct flights?
I mean,
because we have so few of them.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. I mean, San Antonio International is struggling with the number of direct flights it has now. Every direct flight it loses, it's another step backward. And probably especially galling was this morning, American Airlines announced new direct flights from Austin Bergstrom to San Jose and another city, just as they're peeling back, that route in San Antonio. So, I mean, it is. It's hurting, the city's airports competition with other regional facilities.
Okay, so these 2 direct flights on American, the direct from San Antonio to Philadelphia, on Southwest, the direct to Oakland.
Right.
They're supposed to resume April, March timeframe, but
it's all exactly. It's all contingent on the 737 MAXs getting back up in the air, and we just don't know if that's going to happen in that time frame.
Let's touch on another big business issue, very, very local for us here. VIA funding versus funding to protect the Edwards Aquifer. That's not a matchup I think a lot of people saw coming.
It is not. No, it's funny. So what's happened is over the last few years, there's been a really laser-like focus on San Antonio's transit system. And you have to look at our transit system for about 5 seconds before you realize how underfunded VIA is. I mean, bus service here, it needs to be, higher frequency and more reliable. Everybody kind of acknowledges that, and it's got to have some kind of advanced rapid transit component. What that is, nobody's really saying, nobody really knows at this point. And with its funding now, through the sales tax, it's just not enough. It needs more money. Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolf, Mayor Ron Nirenberg, they're in agreement that they're looking at funding options available to them. They agree that the 1/8 cent sales tax that's funding the aquifer protection acquisitions, buying these conservation easements over the aquifer to stop development, that money is the most readily available. So they want to pull funding from aquifer protection to fund VIA. This would be an additional about $40 million a year. It's quite a bit of money.
That's significant.
But there is the problem of aquifer protection.
Of course. What do we do with? We got to have drinking water.
That's right. So it's we're in a situation where our elected officials they know they want this money for VIA. But they also know they want to continue these land purchases over the aquifer, just to stop development so you don't have the risk of contaminating our drinking water. So where do you go for the money? SAWS, the San Antonio Water System, actually had a program like what we've seen with the sales tax, these aquifer, or these conservation easements over the aquifer. They made their first purchase in 1993, and their last one, this was SAWS, the last one in 2007. It was really small scale compared to what the city's been able to do with the sales tax fund. The question now is, if SAWS board agrees to do this, and from their meeting today, it looks like they're seriously entertaining the idea, how much are they willing to spend, and how much are ratepayers going to be paying? I mean, I think it's almost inevitable that if SAWS begins buying these easements again, it's going to have to be on the backs of ratepayers. There will be another rate increase.
And this is on top of Vista Ridge. This is on top of, rate increases that we see
all the
time.
We've got a 10% rate increase coming in 2020, so that's about to kick in less than a month. SAWS is already under a consent decree to spend $500 million to improve the sewer system. Like, all of these have really driven up rates for SAWS customers. And now you're throwing this on top of that. I mean,
so when do we know when SAWS could possibly say, yes, we're in, and here's how much we're willing to
It'll have to be pretty soon, because they will start this program in 2021, because I think the sales tax will kick in, or it'll be in effect through 2020. So you're talking about in about a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah, and good luck with your water bill. So.
All right, another business issue that's everyone's business this time of year, holiday shopping. When it came to Black Friday, online shopping ruled that day.
Oh yeah, and this was a history-breaking Black Friday. This was the first time where you actually saw more purchases made online than in person. People spent on Black Friday about $7.4 billion in the store, but they spent $9.4 billion on Amazon. I'm going to guess a lot of it was on Amazon, but I'm told there are other venues you can buy stuff online for.
Who knew?
But yeah, who knew? Who knew? I don't know. I've never used them, but yeah, I hear they exist, and that's remarkable. I mean, both represented a pretty strong increase over the previous year. So I mean, both increased about 19%. That's remarkable. I mean, it signals that we've got a good, healthy economy. How much longer that's going to last, who knows? But we were saying the same thing last year. I mean, we were expecting the bottom to fall out. So, it was, there's no reason to think that that's not going to widen even more in the years to come. I mean, we're just, we are a society now that's just accustomed to buying things online. We've mostly, except for the 200-year-olds among us, we're just kind of used to buying, giving up our information online, saving.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that online shopping will overtake brick-and-mortar sales.
As I thought about it, it's like I'm kind of surprised it didn't happen last year or the year before.
That was my reaction when hearing these numbers. It didn't happen last year?
Yeah. The downside is kind of the human aspect of it. I mean, if you're one of these people, and I'm not one of them, but if you're one of them who actually enjoys going out on a Black Friday, enjoying the crowds and all of that, God bless you. You probably need some help, but if you enjoy that, I mean, the traffic was way down. I mean, we sent a couple of reporters out for Black Friday just to check the scene out. And they came back reporting that, there was just not much going on.
It was normal shopping.
Yeah, and we actually found that, across the country, foot traffic was down about 6% on Black Friday, although on Thanksgiving Day, shopping there was up nearly 3%. My three daughters, they bolted from Thanksgiving dinner to go to Target at 6 on Thanksgiving Day. So
hey, you know what? For the people who that is their tradition, smaller crowds could mean good things.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
All right, thanks for being here, Greg.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.